Dial it up.
Hi, I'm Apple Fan,
I'm a PC fan.
and welcome to...
Movie news and reviews.
Today, we're going to be reviewing the Lethal Weapon series, Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure,
The Dark Knight and Snakes on a Plane.
Kill the Batman.
This is the Dark Knight movie. Now, I personally like to say that this is one of the best films I would like to say. It has one of the best villains ever. The Joker in this film is actually a very good one. It's better than the other ones. Here, let me explain a scene for you. In the first beginning, we see the Joker robbing a bank with his henchmen. And they get all the money. Now, for me, I find this a little cruel because when the Joker finally gets all the money, he shoots his employees. Like, if you're gonna have employees and you want them to do your bidding and they don't get share of the profit, I mean, this movie it's just awesome. Like, greatness. And it's one of the best films ever to be created. The actor Bruce Wayne in it, what a good fellow this is. And Warner Brothers, good film. If I was a critic, I would rate this a little on the top 5 scale. I would think a little bit of a 4 because it has a lot of acquit in it, a lot of good stuff, and it really does what the character is supposed to do. Now that I think is cool.
If you haven't seen Lethal Weapon 1, Lethal Weapon 2, Lethal Weapon 3, or Lethal Weapon 4, you need to get out and see them right now. Not only is this one of the greatest series of all time, but you got some of the greatest cast members of all time. Joe Pesci, Rene Russo, Mel Gibson, Danny Glover, and that Chinese guy. And by Chinese guy, I mean Japanese guy. And by Japanese guy, I mean Jet Li. Basically, the plot is slightly different, but it's pretty much the same in all the movies. Mel Gibson teams up with Danny Glover, and they're both cops, and Mel Gibson's like, hee, I'm by myself, I don't have a girlfriend. And Danny Glover's like, man, I got a family, I'm too old for this shit. And then, basically, they go and blow up the town, and the dude, police officer, head chief guy is like not really liking that too much. So that's pretty much what happens throughout the series and every movie. The first one, Mel Gibson's like really totally crazy, and then by the fourth one, he's like, ha ha ha, I'm a family guy now. So it's got some great character development throughout the series, and it's just a fantastic series overall. And if you haven't picked any of these movies up, and you're starting with the first one, I would definitely recommend Lethal Weapon 2 to start with, and then go back and watch 1 because 2 is just amazing.
Now this film was a real horror scene, and now this is one of the best films, one of the second films, one of the greatest ones of all. It has to be Snakes on a Plane. This film will actually make your blood run. Like, if you have a phobia of scared of snakes, then you will love this. I mean, it's an action, it's a thriller. It's one of the best films ever. And also, it has one of the best people in it. Samuel L. Jackson. Now that's a good dude. I mean, this film is kick-ass. Literally. I mean, look what it says. It's a thrill ride. It's one of the great experiences. It's action-packed. It's a phenomenon. And you gotta see this film, man. It's one of the best things ever. I mean, Samuel, you are a good God. You are God. And like always says, you are tired of all these snakes on this goddamn plane. Yeah.
Excellent! Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure, starring Keanu Reeves, Alex Winter, and George Carlin, is a movie that history buffs, time buffs, people who went back in time and came to the future and then went from the future back to the 1800s should probably see this movie. Why? Not only does it have an all-star cast, but it has literally an all-star cast. I mean, you got Abraham Lincoln in this movie, Joan of Arc, Socrates, Billy the Kid, and Napoleon, because, I mean, they're from history. And basically the main plot in this movie is that Bill and Ted, a.k.a. the Wild Stallions, they are flunking history, and Ted's dad threatens to send him to military school. And he's like, I can't go to military school because then I will not be able to be in the Wild Stallions band. That creates a problem. So George Carlin comes along. He's like, hey, dude's got this phone booth. You might as well go back in history and learn about it and meet some cool people, a.k.a. Socrates. And so they go back and they meet all these cool people and they learn all about history. And then at the end, they have like a huge performance with all these celebrities like Abraham Lincoln in the performance. So essentially they cheat. And then the Wild Stallions are okay, and Ted doesn't have to go to military school. And I just spoiled the whole plot for you, so you don't have to see this movie now. But, see Bill and Ted's Bogus Journey, because it's also a great movie too. Thanks for watching this episode of Movie News and Reviews.
Tune back in next time to see us reviewing other films that we have seen before.
Except, when you go home tonight, or tomorrow, or the next day, do not, under any circumstances, see the movie 9 by Tim Burton. It sucks. Ass.
Like, how does it suck?
Because you just start watching it, and you're waiting for the plot to happen, and then it's over. And then you're like, I want to stab myself repetitively in the chest with a knife.
Sounds like what Marilyn Manson would do if he would see this. He would literally have babies over this.
But that wouldn't happen because that's physically impossible. Kind of like it's physically impossible for me to see that movie again.
Oh, yeah?
Thanks and have a great day.
See ya.